Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout is a featherweight professional mixed martial arts bout. This will consist of 3 5-minute rounds. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your first fighter to the cage. He weighed in at 66.3 kilograms. He has a professional record of 1 win and no losses. Representing Valhall Gym from Norway, Kim Thinghaugen. Ladies and gentlemen, now welcome his opponent. He weighed in at 65.8 kilograms. He has a professional record of 1 win and no losses. Representing BKK Fighters from Colchester, Arnold Allen!
So professional mixed martial arts over 3 5-minute rounds. Arnold Allen, BKK Fighters Colchester, 1-0 against Kim Thinghaugen, Valhall Gym in Norway. Similar record as well.
I am on the edge of my seat for this one. I've been waiting for this fight. I know a little bit about both fighters. Arnold Allen, I started him out in mixed martial arts. However, he's gone on to a very, very good team in BKK Fighters. And Kim Thinghaugen, I have a relationship with his coach, Tommy Rasmussen. He slammed me through the floor at an Abu Dhabi qualifier up in Sweden. So it's an international affair. UK taking on Norway.
Yes, and their postures couldn't have been so dissimilar when they came into the cage. Arnold couldn't wait to get there, threw his t-shirt down, looked to his corner. We looked over at Kim and he was having a power nap waiting for him to come in. It's that laid-back Norwegian thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, Thinghaugen is supposed to be the next biggest thing out of Norway. However, Arnold Allen is a very, very big scalp to take back because he is the former, champ in 2. For former East Coast Fight Factory champ as well as the Cage Contenders champ. Now look at this here, Thinghaugen immediately transitioning to a triangle choke, and it looks pretty deep.
Yes, as I said, he was a cool customer. Nothing fazed him as he stood there quietly waiting for Arnold Allen to arrive.
Now look at this, Thinghaugen has got the left leg hooked. However, Arnold really throwing that leather down. Now he's going to have to be careful. Ooh. Oh, and that lands flush.
And that got his attention this time because they were heavy bombs coming down from Arnold Allen.
Now Thinghaugen is looking to make that as tight as possible. He's readjusting position. Arnold looking possibly to try to walk around. Ooh, big knee to the side. Now, I'll tell you what, I'm surprised that Arnold's able to stay in that triangle choke so long. I mean, because that looks really, really tight from our vantage point here.
And at the same time, you look at Kim Thinghaugen, and none of those shots fazed him. A big knee, 3 big right hands from Arnold, and he's just stuck to his task.
Now look, possible, oh look at this, Arnold's going, and he passes the triangle.
And drops the elbow bombs, but they're not quite in range.
Now, what does that do mentally to Thinghaugen? He had that triangle submission in, locked in tight. What do you do against a fighter that won't tap out?
Well, you wouldn't know to look at him because Thinghaugen gives nothing away with his expression. And the heavy shots he's taken, you'd hardly know it looking at his face there. There's hardly a blemish or a mark on it. There's some scraping across the forehead. And again, now there's a cut, and it's a huge cut. That elbow suddenly opened up a cut, like opening up a zip there on the head of Thinghaugen. It was the elbow from Arnold Allen that really opened up that cut above the eye. You could see the reaction. This is deep.
Well, I tell you what, Thinghaugen's facial expression, jump knee off of the single leg takedown. I will tell you what, Arnold is really impressing me. Saying that, so is Thinghaugen. His facial expression didn't change. The cut came, he dealt with it. And now look, he is possibly taking the back of Arnold here. I tell you what, this is back and forth. This is what mixed martial arts is all about here.
Well, incredible stuff. And Thinghaugen, we saw that elbow land and open the cut up. Arnold Allen seemed to be in ascendancy, and now he's having to fight off another submission attempt from this cool Norwegian. That's deep though, Pierre. Yeah, and it's quite wide.
It will definitely get a look at in between rounds if the ref doesn't stop it to get the doctor to look at it now. Nice reversal there. Arnold immediately looking for a triangle of his own off of that little scuffle.
And those elbows again.
And it did now. Oh! This is exciting. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do my job as I'm watching the fight, and I tell you what, this is when you get drawn in, when it's very evenly matched. And look at this, both guys. Big left hook there by Thinghaugen, changing levels.
The thing that has impressed me most, Pierre, is what you mentioned earlier. This is a nasty cut. It's bleeding freely. You would not know it except for obviously the copious amounts of blood. Thinghaugen has just not changed his tactics, his expression, and he's still equally in this fight.
I wonder if that's the skill or the cagecraft or just being Norwegian, because I tell you what, every Norwegian that we've had here at UWC, the same demeanor, the same facial expression, and that's ice cold. Single leg attempt there. Thinghaugen looking to switch over, redirection. However, Arnold is really readjusting elbow again, hacking elbow.
He throws those elbows, he throws those knees from angles. He's always thinking and he's always looking to do damage. Well, you said you were looking forward to this fight. It certainly lived up to expectations. And again, look at Arnold Allen, every opportunity. Now elbows to the body as well.
And he did the takedown attempt there by Thinghaugen. Other fighter, now he's getting warned there by the referee. I don't know if it was to the back of the head. Now look at the face of Thinghaugen. I don't know that this is going to make it to round two, Malcolm. What do you think?
Well, the medics are coming out to look. I felt the cut was deep immediately that he opened it. His face is awash with blood. He looks like the poster for Carrie at the moment. But that could be the adrenaline, and as we know, the blood pumping. When they get it cleaned up and they have a look at the cut, that's what they're looking. No, I think they're telling him now that's too wide. The medic's going, no. You can see the medic's expression. It's too wide. Okay. This is all over.
Well, for me, myself, as a fan, I tell you what, I don't want it to end here because both guys were just getting warmed up. We were starting to really see their shapes and their technique. And I tell you, both of these guys will be stars, whether it be in the UK, back in Norway, or even internationally.
Well, Thinghaugen again with that ice-cold expression nodded to the ambulance manager to say, I understand, I know. It's all over. But as you said, we saw more in that first round than you sometimes see in 3-round fights. And I agree with you, this Arnold Allen is a real talent for the future. And like the ties, he says, it was my elbow, it was my elbow. Pierre, all I can say to finish is great while it lasted, and look for this young man, Arnold Allen.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 minutes of action, we have a winner. Due to doctor stoppage, Arnold Allen! And ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to Kim Dinghaugen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a lightweight professional mixed martial arts bout. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your first fighter to the cage. He weighed in at 70.8 kilograms. He has a professional record of 5 wins and 3 losses. Representing BKK fighters from Colchester, Jason Coolidge. Ladies and gentlemen, now welcome his opponent to the cage. He weighed in at 70 kilograms. He has a professional record of 6 wins and 4 losses. Representing Team Crossface from London, Hayden Critchfield.
Professional mixed martial arts over 3 5-minute rounds. Hayden Critchfield from Team Crossface, 6-4 is his record, against Jason Coolidge from BKK Fighters with a record of 5 wins and 3 losses. Very evenly matched on paper, Pierre.
Well, I spoke with Jason the Animal Coolidge before the fight, and he said he's gotten an edge because, as you know, Hades Critchfield actually is on the active channel for Sky teaching self-defense, and he said that he's tuned in and he's gotten some ideas on how to defeat him by his own methods.
That should be interesting to see. It's difficult when you've got a high profile. You're there to be taken out.
Now, saying that, talking about high profile, Hayden Critchfield, he's a KO champ. He's a Pro Kumite bronze medalist as well as a PKA instructor. The Animal putting some top pressure up against the cage against Critchfield.
Short knees to the inside of the thigh of Critchfield as well.
Critchfield with head control, little knee, switch kick. Both guys looking to test the waters here just to see what the other has. Knee attempt there, misses.
Short uppercut attempt from Critchfield misses as well, so they're just both out of range at the moment.
Now that body shot, foot jab straight to the face. The Animal looks like he's a little bit hurt. I think that body shot caught him.
Yes, he is hurt. You can see the grimace. The right hand followed up as well, and another knee to that already tender midsection. And that's why Coolidge is now looking for that single leg to buy himself some time. Hurt there from the attack of Critchfield, as you said, Pierre.
And I think Hayden Critchfield, I think he missed a golden opportunity. He had him hurt at range. However, he followed him up, allowing the Animal to grab that clinch. And now look where he's at. It had Critchfield, the aggressor, on the bottom, and no longer has the upper hand.
Yes, he landed with a straight right, but then through the straight right again, Whereas when you're looking for body positioning, throwing that right, having to come in is why he's here now, because the leg was made available.
Now he's got a headlock there on the Animal. Animal looking to take his back. However, Critchfield is looking to turn the hips, turn him back into him. He's got leg control. Now the important thing, now look at that, an attempted rear naked choke. I don't know if he has that underneath the chin, but there's other things that you could attack. You have a neck crank from there. You can switch over to a possible arm bar.
And he's in trouble here, Critchfield, and as you said, it's from a position of advantage, so he will be very frustrated if Coolidge manages to keep this on and sink it in and get the submission. You'll see a very frustrated Hayden Critchfield because he had a golden opportunity for a KO finish.
And like you said, the Animal was hurt. He did grimace. Critchfield followed it up, but again, you got to keep that range.
He's in real problems here, Pierre, from this.
Now the Animal looks to continue that back mount. I believe Critchfield has a 2-on-1. Now look at that. Good work by Critchfield to get out of a very tough position. Knee sneaks in, catches the Animal, not flush.
Back and forward in the opening round, very entertaining from both men. You had Critchfield with the advantage early. Coolidge then taking him to ground to clear his head and compose himself again. And for me, that's evened this fight up quite noticeably now.
Yeah, now the Animal is from BKK. Jack Mason, as you know, champion here in the UK, as well as I believe he's with a Steve Brand. Both guys heavy wrestling base, and you can tell it here. The Animal continue to put pressure on Critchfield, driving him up against the cage, looking for a single leg dump.
Now for me, what Critchfield needs is to find that space again, that room, to get his good technique off upright. Because we see that he can hurt Jason Coolidge.
Well, now also Coolidge has, he has that in the back of his mind. I was hurt at range, so now I want to go ahead and close that down, keep on top of him. If Critchfield can get it back out into the middle, into the open, and try to use that to his advantage, because if he wants to close down the distance, wait with that uppercut as he comes in or that straight backhand.
But as you said, at the moment it's the wrestler that is dictating the pace here and where the fight is happening. And we've seen in previous fights just how dangerous elbows can be as Coolidge looks to drop those elbows on the face of Hayden Critchfield.
Now Critchfield tried to go back door. However, it looks like he possibly give up his back now. Animal looking for a possible armbar here, or he's going to switch over to try to do a push-through triangle choke. Nope, he opts to throw the leather straight down the pipe.
Good old-fashioned ground and pound.
Now he has to be careful because Coolidge looks like he might be giving up position. Now that triangle choke side on. I don't know if he's going to be able to get it, but it looks like he's switching over for a Kimura, and he has that locked. He's going to omoplata. If he can sit up, he can go omoplata. Now very beautifully done there by Critchfield. There's a potential for a Kimura there, but Critchfield puts his knee so the arm doesn't go past the knee. Very good work there by Critchfield. Very, very smart grappling.
And Pierre, a round of two halves there. Good start from Critchfield, but Coolidge finished very strongly.
Yeah, you could argue either way. I myself think it could possibly be even, but I will say one thing. The game plan, the die has been set, if you know what I mean. We know that Coolidge is going to be a little bit iffy on that outside, staying on that outside range. It works for Critchfield, Critchfield being the longer fighter and possibly the better striker. However, the Animal wants to close down that distance, get it down, and that's where he's been dominant. And you would expect that from a BKK fighter. And it's who can implement that game plan here in the second.
So second of potentially 3 rounds. We've got it quite even on our cards. Obviously they're not the official cards, but as Pierre said, it's 2 very distinct game plans, and as we saw there, we know what Coolidge's is. He wants to take this to ground again. Critchfield needs to get that range, that space.
The Animal looking for a possible single leg or maybe even a high crotch. Look at the amount of pressure that the Animal's putting on Critchfield. He's digging down low, keeping him based up against the cage. Looking to step around, possibly hit a trailer for the takedown. And
here he goes. but you've been impressed with Critchfield's defence on the ground so far. It might be Coolidge initiating the takedowns, looking to attack, but you've been impressed with the way Critchfield defends that.
Yeah, it's the small things that he does. It's the little, switch of the hips, and the way that he stopped that Kimura attempt from that omoplata was beautiful. Just keep the knee in front so he can't push the arm back. And, it's little things like that that I love to see in a bout like this.
Now Coolidge out of range with those elbow attempts. And at the moment, Critchfield very comfortable on his back.
Now he's going to look to base that knee across the hip to keep Coolidge at distance. Critchfield now, big up kick. However, you can't do that when you have 3 points of contact on the mat. Referee will warn him for that.
And sportingly, Coolidge makes nothing of it. They touch gloves and go again. And Coolidge now trying to posture up and lay down the leather on Critchfield.
Now Coolidge is going to have to keep the shots short. He doesn't want to overextend because Critchfield looks like he's just waiting for something, baiting him possibly.
Whereas Coolidge was looking to transition there, Pierre, as he has done now. Not fully successfully though, has he?
No, because he's still in the half guard of Critchfield. What he needs to do, turn onto the hip, kick out with the other leg, and bring that other leg across so he gets that full side mount. And again, with that half guard, Critchfield still has some measure of control.
But this round, the pattern has been set earlier with Coolidge being the man to set the aggression, do the takedowns. Critchfield hasn't had the success upright, so although we keep saying he's defending well, that isn't enough in this round for me.
No, not at all. The game is to win, and here scoring points is Coolidge. You don't score points for defending.
And we said it was two very distinct game plans, and at the moment it will be Coolidge's, the Animals camp, that will be far happier, surely, as we're over halfway through this round now.
Yeah. Now, Coolidge is walking away with it here in the second. I had it very even at the beginning. Critchfield is just content right now to keep locked down or half guard. Coolidge putting the head down, out to the side. Now you have what's called a Von Flue choke. He may be setting up, nope, he's looking for a step over triangle choke there. Critchfield able to get out of it.
But again, for Critchfield, the problem is it's very good defensive technique, but there's been no offense in this round. He has been in this defensive mode the whole round as Coolidge tests him in various ways here. And it must be strength sapping as well, Pierre.
Well, not only that, even though he's not really getting too banged up, he's carrying the weight of Coolidge. Coolidge has stayed on for majority from that top position during the second round, and you're carrying that dead weight. And this is the second tip for a head and arm choke there by the Animal. And he looked like he may be able to step that left leg out. He needs to walk it across, and he taps. Critchfield taps to the head and arm choke.
Well, you've got to admire Jason Coolidge there. He had a game plan. He stuck to it, Pierre. He was dogged, he was resilient, and he kept going until he got the result he wanted.
Like a dog to a bone, just wouldn't give it up. And now his teammate Arnold, who we saw earlier tonight, and what I would have to say could possibly be the fight of the night. Strong team, BKK fighters, both of their representatives walking away with wins here tonight.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 4 minutes 15 seconds of the second round, we have a winner to the tapper from Arm Triangle, Jason Coolidge. And a big hand to your up, Hayden Critchfield.